Hey guys, and welcome to the Real DDP blog. Today it is Wrasslin Wednesdays. I believe it's March 24th. And we are continuing with SavageDDPage. We've already gone through one, so we will be on with the trilogy. We will be heading towards SavageDDPage 2, which was another unbelievable match. Definitely very proud of the fact that Pro Wrestling Illustrated voted this 1997's Feud of the Year. No one can ever take that away from me, right? What we've been showing so far is behind the scenes, like that English? Are some of the behind the scenes things that happen behind these interviews. That's what I've been talking about. If you saw last week, you saw some electrifying interviews between Savage and I leading up to that first match. And then my buddy Dylan, he did a sweet little edit of the match at Spring Stampede. And what's about to be seen is the night after Spring Stampede. And what you're going to see is me come out with ice on my shoulder. I got a black eye. I'm all scraped up, but it was pretty physical in a shoot way, meaning for real. Both shoulders are normally iced by me, both knees and my back. I was actually the first guy to ever ice their body in professional wrestling. Everybody thought I was a bit of a pussy, but I was just trying to hold back the hands of time. Ice can be your absolute best friend. It still is today. Today, as a matter of fact, all the boys, we got trainers, everybody's iced up, wrapped around their knees, around their shoulders, elbows, backs, because it's one of the greatest healers. As far as the interview you're going to see here, man, I was charged up. Lee Marshall had called me an anomaly, and I just used it as this part of this interview because it hit me on the way to the ring. And I normally had my interviews pretty laid out before I get up there, but sometimes something would just hit me on the way up there, and I brought it up. An anomaly wasn't supposed to happen. Normally, I only first heard of that term when I was watching Star Trek, and I'm talking about the original Star Trek. Remember, I'm 54. I grew up with that shit. So that was a pretty special moment, and that crowd was so hot. And it was right in the beginning where my buddy Dylan here actually edited this video so that you could just see some of the highlights where actually Hogan goes to get involved in this. Sting gets involved in this. Sting throws me the bat. In professional wrestling, really movies in general, entertainment in general, when you get the rub from the guy, and Sting absolutely would have been the biggest babyface at our company at WCW, probably the biggest star, next to Hogan in his own realm. But for him to come down out of the rafters, the crowd went crazy, and actually give Diamond Dallas Page the rub was huge for my career. 1997 to 98 was just an amazing time in my life. And 99 was pretty damn good too. But that was when it was all the dreams that I was working so hard for were coming together. So it was a pretty electrifying night. And then you'll see some other interviews that Dylan spliced in here. And at the end, you'll see me come out and go to get Savage, and he drops the crutches, so I pick it up and go to whack him with it. Now, Randy's trademark, pull Liz in front. I would later steal, I should say much earlier, I would steal that and pull Kim in front, a la Randy Savage. So when he pulled her in front, he didn't have the crutches. And so I'm going to whip him with it, and he's got Liz jockeying for position, and here comes Hulk. And Hulk comes across with that crutch. And those are aluminum crutches. They're not fake crutches. They're the same aluminum crutches everybody else uses. And he hit me. And when he hit me and I went down, he whipped me like I was having an affair with his old lady. And he just found out. I mean, it was so bad that I actually have a picture that's up on this site that will let you see the welts on my body. And the only reason I took that picture, more behind the scenes, was because Kevin Green actually, Kevin Green, I don't know if you know who he was, but he was one of the, if you're a football fan, one of the greatest linebackers of all time. I believe he's the leading sacker of all time. And Kevin was there because he was going to be in the next pay-per-view, and they were setting it up. So we shot that angle where I took the whipping from the crutches right at the 9 o'clock hour. So, you know, Nitro was on from 8 to 11. So at 9, right when WWF was coming on, that was the time we had to come out with something red hot. So when Hulk whipped me with those crutches, of course I came to the back, thanked him for whooping my ass, because that's what we do. We thank you. And plus it was a huge rub. Getting that rub from Hogan was huge, because Hogan had never, you know, he'd done some little things to me, but that's the first time he actually set out to do something to me. And being the top heel in the business, along with Nash and Hall and Savage, you know, that was a really big, another big rub for me. So he also wanted to say, welcome to Hulk's world, where at times, very nice and easy, other times like Savage, big blue flash, or serious whipping. When Hulk would whip you with that belt, again, it was like you were hitting his old lady, okay? It was serious. So I came to the back, and I just taken a shower, and I was reaching for something. My stuff happened to be near the monitor, and all the boys sit down and watch, you know, the matches. And when I grabbed my stuff, Kevin Green looks at me and he goes, DDP, what the hell happened to your back? And I looked at him, and I looked at the monitor, and I looked back at him, and I go, didn't you just see that? And he went, his eyes got big and said, he goes, that was real? I go, look at my back. So that's the picture. And I said, wait a minute, somebody take a picture of this. I'm so glad I did, never thinking I'd be doing blogs. Hell, I didn't know what a blog was till 2 years ago. So bottom line is, this is the picture that you will see up there will be of my back and the whipping that Hulk gave me. Also, some more behind the scenes stuff, looking at my time here. Savage, because with YouTube, you got to be under 9 minutes. Savage, because we weren't in the next pay-per-view, was worried that the bookers were going to try to push our angle down, like let it get lost in the sauce. And Randy wasn't going to let that happen. Thank God for his intensity. And him and Hulk back then were really tight. Notice I said back then. I'll never understand why those two guys aren't buddies, because, you know, they were really tight. Whatever, that's not my business. But Randy went to Hulk and talked to him, and then Hulk said, I'll come out there and I'll whip the hell out of Dallas. And I'm thinking, wow, Hulk's going to get involved in our angle? More than just talk? That was huge. Huge for the angle, huge for the heat, huge for Diamond Dallas Page. So, again, Hulk was really good to me so many ways. Another interview I put up here is Randy Savage, and it was a classic NWO interview. And for those of you who remember, without questions, the coolest interviews that have ever been done in professional wrestling were those NWO black and white grainy things that Eric Bischoff came up with my buddy Neil Pruitt, who is the voice of the NWO. Very good buddy of mine who was the behind-the-scenes man that really created a lot of the really, really cool shit that we were doing back then. So I figured I'd put that up there as a homage to my buddy Neil. So if you're watching this blog and it's on YouTube and you don't know what The Real DDP is all about, you can subscribe to www.DaRealDDPcom, and we'll just get it sent to you. And that's all I got. On the home front, I just found out that movie Pizza Man that I just got was supposed to start next week filming. The executive producer, hey, I'll call you back, bud. The executive producer actually saw my screen test, and he liked it so much that he offered me a bigger part. So now I got to study my ass off. So that's all I got. I got to get back down playing this guy Kreider, who's the head heel in the movie Pizza Man. That's all I got. So my inspirational thought of the day is this. I heard Sir Reverend say this. The quickest way to get there is to act like you've already been there. That's all I got. See ya! Feel the bang! Monkey. And I gotta find the thing and turn it off. Ah!